So I don't really know what's going on right now with this Earth is flat thing. And it's not okay to think that the Earth is flat.
If you want to think the world is flat, go right ahead.
And it's not okay to think that the Earth is flat.
Go right ahead.
That's a hard thing for me to even start talking about because there are so many proofs that the Earth is round, it's difficult to know where to start.
Go right ahead.
Is to think about...
You can and should think...
Now, another way that you can tell that we're on a sphere is to think about...
You can and should think whatever you want.
How there's something called the tropics on the Earth. And the tropics are places near the equator of the Earth where sometimes the sun is overhead in the sky. And this was actually something that the Greeks used not only to prove that the Earth was round about 2,000 years ago, but they actually measured the circumference of the Earth accurate to within just a couple percent. 2,000 years ago, we've known that the Earth was round. That the Earth was round about 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, we've known that the Earth was round. That the Earth was round about 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, we've known that the Earth was round. 2,000 years ago. And he rationed that change in angle from one city to another was probably indicative of us being on a curved surface.
You see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, wow, he's in space, look at that.
And you could make all kinds of measurements, even between those two cities, and see that the angles were different. The sun was at a different place in the sky. Using this, he actually measured the circumference of the Earth, and he got it right 2,000 years ago.
No, he's not!
That the Earth was round about
2,000 years ago.
Then he got it right
2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago.
Go right ahead.
And Eratosthenes noticed that there was a town called Syene, and on a certain date, the sun would actually shine straight down to the bottom of a well.
2,000 years ago.
That meant the sun was directly overhead. You could look down a well and see the sun shining back at you. And on the very same date, farther away in the city of Alexandria, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
The sun was not directly overhead. It was a slight angle. That meant the sun was directly overhead. The sun was not directly overhead. It was a slight angle.
In fact, as I was talking to the folks from Sempra, they were explaining that this location is almost optimal for solar power generation. And not only because it's flat, transmission lines were already here, the sun is traveling, and there's no haze, and it's absolutely clear. And so this is an extraordinary opportunity for the community. If some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail,
that didn't happen.
If these guys were around when Columbus set sail,
that didn't happen.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society.
That didn't happen.
They'd be charter members of the Flat Earth Society.
That didn't happen.
And space is completely empty. It has no atmosphere, it has nothing. It is the absence of everything.
Everybody.
Space is completely empty.
Everybody knows the Earth is a sphere, right?
Space is completely empty.
Everybody knows that. Seen the pictures. Right.
Space,
or a geoid, very close to a sphere,
is completely empty. Completely empty. Completely empty. That is the emptiness. That is an emptiness that you can't wrap your mind around. It has no atmosphere, it has nothing. It is the absence of everything.
it's not okay. It can actually show you the shape of the Earth.
Go right ahead.
You know, with binoculars, you can see planets. You can see Saturn and Jupiter. You can see Mars with a telescope, the sun, the moon, everything else you see in the solar system is a sphere. So we're the one thing that is different. You know, and that actually made somebody who was more interested in actually hearing information. That actually got them to think. They're like, you're right. You know, everything else we take a picture of is a sphere.
Years ago. 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago.